Okay, so we've got this interview with Savannah Miles,
Mm,
and she's someone who's like diving back into this whole
right.
pageant world after, what is it, like a 7-year break?
7 years, yeah.
7 years, which is wild to me
It is.
because it's not like she's, just sort of picking up where she left off
Right.
after winning, was it Miss Georgia Teen USA?
Miss Georgia Teen USA, yes.
So she had already sort of like reached
The
a
pinnacle
pinnacle, exactly.
at a young age.
And now she's coming back, and it's at this whole other level now.
Right. Now it's the Miss level.
The Miss level. And, on top of all that, she's also like embracing
Yeah.
this totally different career path. I mean, you wouldn't really expect.
Not the usual trajectory, no.
No, not at all.
Biomedical engineering to interior design,
Yeah.
that's quite a leap.
Talk about a unique perspective, right?
That's
Like she's got this insider knowledge, having been there, done that at a young age,
right.
and now coming back to it with like,
More life experience.
yeah, like a maturity and a self-awareness that
That's right.
you can hear it
Mm-hmm.
when she talks about the whole thing.
And she's very open, too,
Yes.
about the challenges
Yeah.
of coming back into that world.
Because it's not all,
It's not all glitz and glam.
no, it's not all, like
Uh,
just fun and games.
Exactly. There's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. And she even talks about this, like
Mhm.
kind of a battle between the ears.
Yes. That really resonated with me.
That she's facing,
It's like this internal struggle
It is.
to live up to this image
Yes.
that people might have of her.
Because they think, oh, you were Miss Georgia Teen USA.
Right, right.
Yeah, right.
Like she's frozen in time
Yeah.
at 16.
And it's like, how could you possibly live up to that?
Exactly.
Right.
And she even says she doesn't want to just be 16-year-old Savannah again.
Right. Like she's grown so much.
Exactly.
She's a different person now.
She's moved on. She's evolved.
And that's something I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you're not, getting up on a stage
Every day.
in front of judges, it's that feeling of like, can I really do this?
Yes.
Am I still good enough?
It's a universal struggle.
It really is.
That feeling of self-doubt.
Yeah, that never really goes away, does it?
I don't think so. Yeah, for sure.
It's tough. It's like you almost have this,
That's a lot of pressure
yeah,
to I don't know.
to like live up to
Yeah.
who you were.
Right.
Right.
Especially when you've had, success early on.
Right, exactly.
Like, how do you...
What do you do for an encore?
Right, exactly. It takes, I think, real strength,
Yeah.
to reconcile that past version of yourself
Yeah,
with who you are now
totally.
and what you're passionate about.
Yeah. And speaking of passion,
Yeah,
her going into interior design,
right.
that was not
Not the obvious.
the straight line
Trajectory? No.
that I would have put on my Savannah Miles bingo card.
Right.
That's
And,
really interesting.
from biomedical engineering to this,
Yeah, she talks about,
they're like, how did that even...
she's always kind of had this desire to help people, right?
Okay, yeah.
To make a positive impact.
Yeah.
And initially,
Right.
that was, she thought in the realm of medicine,
Okay.
very classic.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, helping people, doctor, that, But then,
Became much more literal than that.
yeah, well, I mean, I think this, through exploring these different paths,
Yeah.
she kind of came to this realization that interior design was another way
Yeah.
that she could, fulfill that desire
Interesting.
that she had
Yeah.
to have a positive
For
impact.
people, yeah.
Right. And to help people.
In a way
Because our environment
that she hadn't thought of.
affects us,
Right. It's like she had this aha moment.
Where it's like,
I can impact people's lives
right.
by creating these spaces that bring joy,
Yes.
that bring comfort.
Yeah. Comfort function.
Right.
Like it's not just about
Right. It's more than just picking out,
picking out pretty colors.
right. Yeah. Wallpaper,
Right. No, it's deeper than that.
deeper than that. It is. And
It's like she talks about really getting to know
yeah, well, she talks about
her clients on a different level.
really getting to
Yeah.
understand them. And she has this,
She asks them about
she asks them about,
their favorite vacation spots.
yeah, their favorite vacation spots to get a sense of
to get a sense of their aesthetic.
yeah.
I thought that was so fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Such a cool detail.
it speaks to a deeper understanding of how our surroundings influence us. you
Yeah,
know?
it's fascinating, right?
It is. It's like she's found
Yeah.
this like hidden language,
Yeah, totally.
like our environments.
It's like she's like, tell me about your favorite vacation spot and I'll tell you who you are.
Exactly. And I can then design a space that
It's like, wow.
yes, that feels that resonates with your inner
Right, like where you feel most at peace.
exactly.
Because we all want that.
Yeah,
You know, I want my home to feel like my favorite vacation spot.
of course. Yeah.
Okay, and so then she goes on and talks about this really,
Well, this is a kind of a fun little
yeah, this was a fun little like side thing, but it
Yeah.
actually like brings up a really good point.
Mhm.
She's talking about like pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah. She loves them.
And how much she loves them,
Um,
right? And then
yeah.
she was like, she was surprised to find out.
That not everyone shares that
Yeah.
enthusiasm, you
Like
know.
it's not a
It's
universe.
that kind of universal love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting because it kind of speaks to this
And from that, you know, she kind of
bigger idea.
yeah, she goes on to talk about
If.
how important respect is
Yeah.
and inclusivity,
Yeah.
even in something like taste.
It's like you don't have to love it,
Yeah.
but
But you can respect it.
yeah, exactly. And that we don't all have to be the same.
It's okay to be different.
Yeah, in order to like
Yeah.
coexist.
Right. And to, you know, and to see our shared humanity
Yes.
despite those differences. Yeah.
Yeah, because it can be something as simple as like, do you like a pumpkin spice latte?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that I think, you know, obviously feeds into
And this is a woman who is now like, you know,
yeah.
gonna try to be Miss USA.
Miss USA, that's right. I mean,
Fuck that pressure.
I can't even imagine
Right.
what that must be like, you know.
Ugh.
To put yourself out there on that stage.
It's a lot to
Yeah.
represent your state,
And to represent your state, yeah.
which, you know, fun fact, Georgia has actually
So ever had
never had a Miss USA
a Miss USA or a Miss Teen USA?
or Miss Teen USA.
Yeah.
So like,
The pressure's really on.
if she wins, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a really big deal.
It's a lot of pressure. But, you know, I think her story is so inspiring.
Yeah,
You know, it really shows that you can
it's true.
redefine success on your own terms.
It really does.
Like it's okay to, you know, to
Yeah.
embrace the unexpected
Yeah. Take those detours.
and to pursue your passions. Yeah.
It's like she's not afraid to like
Even when they don't fit the mold.
color outside the lines a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which I love. I think that's so great. And so I think that's kind of what we're left with.
Yeah. It makes you think.
It makes you kind of look at your own life
It does.
and think, what am I doing? What, you know, what lights me up?
Exactly.
You know, like what could I be looking at differently?
And maybe there are these hidden connections
Yes.
in our own lives.
Yes, that we're not even realizing.
That could lead to, you know, a greater purpose.
Yes, to
Yeah.
something more.
Yeah. That we haven't even considered.
Savannah, thank you for opening our eyes to new possibilities. And to everyone listening, who knows what hidden depths and passions you might uncover if you just dare to look a little closer.